Math 0030 exam number 1 study guide. All right, let's talk about what this first exam is going to look like. Be a couple word problems like this. The product of four negative numbers is what kind of number? Well, if you have four negatives, negative and negative make positive, negative and negative make positive, positive times positive is a positive number. Now here, this inequality, the notation -10 is greater than -12. Means -12 is to the blank of -10 on the number line. If you want to make a quick sketch, -12 is over here, -10 is over here. Well, if this is greater than, it means it's to the, let's see, -12 is to the left of -10. All right, next we have some fraction operations. We have -1/2 plus 3/8. Now, in order to do this, we need a common denominator. Good common denominator is 8. Leave this alone. 2 times what makes 8 is times 4. -1 times 4 is -4. Now we have to deal with signs. -4 plus 3 is -1/8. And that's it. We're done with the problem. Now here we have to be cautious with our signs. Subtracting a negative is the same as addition. I would say that's -3 plus 9, which is the same as 9 minus 3 makes 6. Here, we need to follow order of operations. We have addition and multiplication. Make sure you multiply first. -2 plus -24. -2 plus -24 is -26. Similar procedure for number 6. If you want to, just jot PEMDAS, your order of operations, on your paper. We have to deal with exponents first. 7 divided by -15 plus 4 squared is 16. Brackets, -15 plus 16 is 1. And 7 divided by 1 is 7. Very similar on this next one. Division, multiplication has to be done before addition and subtraction. -20 divided by 4 is -5. -5 times 3 is 12 minus 15 plus 8. And now we have addition and subtraction. The order doesn't matter. I would say 12 and 8 make 20 minus 15 make 5. More of the same on the next page. For something like this, we want to simplify the top, simplify the bottom. 2 times -5 plus 3 is -2. Multiply first. 3 and -6 is -18. Negative and negative is positive 24. 2 times -2 is -4. -18 plus 24 is 6, which simplifies to -2/3. Now in question 9, we have addition and division. Normally division comes first, but we have parentheses. We have to do this first. Get a common denominator, 12, times 4 times 4, times 3 times 3. 8 and 3 make 11/12, divided by 1/2, which is the same as 11/12 times 2 over 1. 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here 6 times. That's 11/6. Now question 10 is just multiplication. Now you could multiply straight across and simplify. Alternatively, you might reduce. 2 goes in here once, 2 goes in here 11 times. 6 goes in here twice, 6 goes in here 3 times. 3 times 1 is 3, 11 times 2 is 22. We're done with the problem. Question 11 is using decimals. Change our signs. That's negative 2.7 plus 1.2, which is going to be negative 1.5. Question 12, do what's in brackets first. 2 times negative 2 times negative 7 is positive 14 minus 3, which is 2 times 14 minus 3 is 11. 2 times 11 is 22. Now, for the next couple of questions, we're going to still follow order of operations, but we're going to have some variables also. So for something like 13, we have parentheses, but there's nothing in the parentheses for me to do. So what I'm going to do is multiply this 2, multiply the negative 3. 6x minus 10y minus 3x plus 21y. 6x minus 3x is 3x minus 10y plus 21y is plus 11y. And that's as simplified as that'll get. Question 14, just be careful with your signs, combine like terms. 10 minus 4 is 6. Negative x minus 6 is minus 7x. Question 15, we're adding fractions. We need a common denominator. A good common denominator is 10. So we'll say times 2. Negative 1 times 2 is negative 2. Negative 2 plus 7 is 5 over 10x, which is equal to 1/2 x. And if you wanted to, you could call that x over 2. That's the same thing. Question 16, we need to distribute the 3. We also need to distribute this negative. If you want, pretend it's a negative 1. 3n plus 24 minus 3n plus 4. Now we have 3n minus 3n. 3n minus 3n is 0. They cancel out. There's nothing left over. 24 and 4 make 28. '17 is also combined like terms. 4x minus 2x is 2x. Y minus 8y is minus 7y. Minus 10z plus 5z is minus 5z. For question 18, we have multiplication. No need to get a common denominator, just multiply straight across. Now, if you wanted to, you could cancel out these 5s. 2 over 3x. And if you wanted to, you could also call that 2x over 3. That's the same thing. For the next questions, we're using inequalities. Again, I want you to think about the number line. Negative 12 is over here somewhere. 5 is over here somewhere. Therefore, this is less than. For question 20, we have fractions, and this is a little bit unclear. What we need to do is get a common denominator. Good common denominator will be 40 times 8, that'll be negative 16, times 5, that'll be negative 15. These are very close. Negative 15 is slightly greater than negative 16, so this is greater than. For question 21, we're using our definition of absolute value. Remember, absolute value is distance. The distance from 0. So the absolute value of negative 4 is positive 4 because distance is always positive. For question 22, we have an algebraic expression. This is 4 squared minus -3 squared. Now just watch your signs here and follow order of operations. 4 squared is 16 minus -3 squared is -3 times -3 is +9. 16 minus 9 is 7. What happens a lot of times is students want to cancel these negatives, but that's not allowed. Very similar in question 23. We're going to plug in for y. -2 squared minus 3 times -2 plus 8. -2 squared is 4. Minus and minus is +6 plus 8 is +18. Now for question 24, we're simply evaluating the equation. We're not solving it. We take the given value 3, substitute it in for w, see if it makes sense. Three times 1 plus 8 is 13. 3 times 1 is 3 plus 8 equals 13. 8 plus 3 is 11 equals 13. Now 11 equals 13 doesn't make any sense. So the short answer is no. This is not a solution. Now for question 25, what I want you to do is explain in complete sentences how you would evaluate this expression. So imagine there's another student sitting next to you and you have to tell them how to do this problem. What I want you to do is explain how you would do that. So in this case, what we have to do is wherever we see x, substitute -2, wherever we see y, substitute 3. Substitute -2 for x and substitute 3 for y. What do we do after that? Follow order of operations. Well, what do we have to do first? Evaluate exponents. Simplify the top and the bottom. Reduce if possible. Now, I'm not asking you to work this problem out, but look at your explanation. See if you're able to solve the problem. Substitute -2 and 3. Follow order of operations with the exponent. That's 4 minus 3 over -2 minus 3. Simplify those, which is 1 over -5, which is in simplest form. We don't usually put a negative in the denominator, so let me call that -1/5.